Peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, your humble hip hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo, and you already know what it is, man. You are rocking with the best. Today I have my brother out in Oakland, California. Let me give this guy his proper introduction because this is going to be a great show. It's been about 2 years. Next month will be 2 years since our first interview. He goes by the name Tekk Amaku. He has transformed this game since he's been in here with automation. He's brought in advertising into this industry. He's even brought health and financial services into the notary industry, which has not been talked about. And I'm excited because it's our damn near 2-year anniversary of doing the first show, which is still the highest ranking notary war room show that we've done. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on my brother, Tekk Amaku. What up, brother?
What up, man? What up, man? That's a great introduction. I love that.
How you feeling today, man? What's the weather like?
Man, you know it's always sunny in California, except for today. Yeah, they got us windy. I felt like it was Chicago. I felt like it was windy here. I'm like, is this what Chicago feels like?
Yeah, when the politicians are talking, it's mad windy, bro. Mad.
Right, which is what you broke it up. You broke me off on that game right there. I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. I thought it was just y'all was out there walking around holding your hats down because wind gusts and 60-mile-per-hour wind blows and stuff. I didn't know that.
Right. So no, this is fantastic. Hold on, man. Let me make sure that we are live on all platforms because we're streaming live from Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Matter of fact, I might just throw up my phone on here, but we got a lot to talk about, man.
Oh yeah.
But for the people that haven't been properly introduced to you, the people that don't know that you're an author and all of that stuff, tell them who you are, bro, because there's new notaries coming into this industry every day. There's old notaries exiting the industry, and there's new notaries, fresh blood coming into this industry every day, man. What would you how would you introduce yourself?
Well, once again, I got to say thank you again for having me on this platform, having me on this show. I remember it was about 2 years ago when we first did the first episode, and I still play that episode back to this very day. I look at it, and it's amazing just to see how much we've done in that time. But yeah, for the people who don't know me, my name is Tekk Amaku. I am from Oakland, California. And, I have a very, I don't have some, over extraordinary or very unfortunate story. I don't have something like that. What I have is a person who basically, I follow the model, this is how it is. Business ownership is a part of that whole journey. So I came into the notary industry wanting to have a business. I was very specific about that. I always knew that I wanted to do something big in the business industry. Notary is, to me, one of the first steps to dipping your toes into entrepreneurship. And I came into the industry. I wanted to do something very specific, and that was to own a business. And I knew from what I knew about the notary industry in general, a lot of people, they approached it in a way that was, it was very traditional. It was very, I don't want to call it outdated, but to put it this way, the model has been around for a very long time. People need something signed, and then they drive around town, or they find somebody who is a friend of the family, and they go and get this document signed. Or maybe they go to a bank, or maybe they have someone else, like an attorney or another family member, who recommends somebody. And that's exactly how, when I got into the industry, or what I knew about the industry, that's the model. So when I came in, I didn't want to do that. I knew that existed, but I knew that I wanted to have a business. And for me to have a business, I can't be the person who does all the work. It was very simple. Before that, I had got fired from a what some people will call a dream job. Um, I wasn't worried at that time because me understanding that in order to not ever be fired ever again, I had to have a business. So that was a necessary step. It had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It had to. And by virtue of that happening, well, here's where we find ourselves. So I was very intentional about avoiding that ever happening again. And the only way to ever prevent it was to own a business. And having a notary business, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, why being a notary signing agent versus being a notary business owner, why these are two distinctly different things. So when I came into the industry, I brought what I knew from the medical field. And primarily that consisted of new patients. So I treated my customers, my new clients, like new patients. So I took, what I learned and what I crafted and what I perfected, and then I just took exactly that and then just put it into another industry. And thankfully, it's been working out well.
Yeah, indeed, bro. Since we're talking about notary signing agents and we're talking about notary business owners, right? Is there a difference or is it the same?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. There is no difference, depending on who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
There is no difference depending on who you're talking to. If you're talking to somebody who is a signing agent by trade, by training, then it may not be a big difference because a notary public, by virtue of having the title, you and I have the same commission. We both have the same designation from our Secretary of State to go out and be notary publics. Thus, we can perform signing agent work. But here's where the difference lies. And this is why I say it depends on who you're asking. If you're asking me, I would say there's a distinct difference, a categorical difference between the two. And it's important that we recognize that early on. Let me break this down. Because on one side, you're doing for yourself. And then on the other side, you're doing for others. A signing agent, you're doing for yourself. You work for yourself. You are working on behalf of probably a third-party company, a signing agency, or maybe even a title company or some other company, right? And then you go out and execute work. This is something that you do, right, on behalf of others. But you are the person who's executing the work. On the other hand, the business owner, that person, they're doing for others. They're actually the persons who's distributing the work. They're the people who, and it just takes a little bit of a step back just to realize that there is a distinct difference between the two. On one hand, I can go out and get an assignment for a new property that's closing down the street, and I'll just go out and execute it, no problem. Once it's done, I'll go and send the documents back to wherever it needs to go. Maybe I'll leave it with the client. That's on one hand. While on the other hand, the business owner side, this is why there's a difference, because I myself secure the lead. I myself negotiate the deal. I myself have gotten or obtained a new client. At that point, now I'm able to, and this may sound like people are saying, oh, well, he's just describing a signing agency. To the untrained ear, maybe. But here's what I'm saying. At this point, you are still an independent notary public, but by virtue of you being the client coming directly to you, because you've set up kiosks, or what I like to call kiosks, you've set up these stations all throughout your city, all throughout your state, or wherever you need to go. And then somebody bumps into your kiosk, and then they say, I need a notary. They call you, you've secured the client, and now it's up to you to either go and execute it yourself, or you find someone else to do it. And this is a step-by-step process. No matter what this person is looking for, they're always looking for a signature, but no matter what, we can help them. And that's why You own the step by step process. You own the business. That's the distinct difference between the two.
I love it, bro. So, you know, we do you and I, we do the notary sales training every day, every Wednesday. But you and I personally, we do it every day, right? Like, because we talk all the time. We talk every day. Really specific question. What do you feel is missing in the game right now in this notary business? What do you feel is like really needed, not really spoke about, right? No, what do you think that is?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Because this is an easy industry. It's not very difficult. It's not very challenging. No. It's because somebody is in need of something. And that's really the best you can do. Oh my gosh. You mean to tell me that this client comes to me? You mean to tell me I don't have to go knocking on people's doors? You mean to tell me I don't have to pull someone's arm? I don't have to. It sells itself, right? You just have to set up the avenue. You have to set up the apparatus. What I think people are missing is that they don't know really, they don't know really what a notary public really is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's missing.
So you believe that the clients don't really know what a notary is?
Oh, clients definitely don't know what a notary is.
Wait, are you saying that notaries don't know what a notary is, or clients don't know what the notary is?
Notaries don't even know what a notary is. Most notaries don't even know what a notary is.
So how would that change the game if they had a strong understanding of what a notary job was?
I think they wouldn't be as scared. I think if they really knew, if you really knew what a notary was, if you really knew, you wouldn't be as scared. If you really knew what you were doing.
Dawn said, well, damn, Tekk.
They don't.
What's up, the Notary Nation? Dawn out there in Florida. The Queen is in the building. You know what I've been fascinated by is I'm really curious in finding out what notaries' true desire in this industry really is. Like, what do you want? Like, why did you come into this industry, and what are you expecting from this industry? Do you have any idea, like, what their desires are of coming into? Let's be honest, man. Like, this is not the most exciting industry to be in. Lucrative though, but I feel, me personally, feel that notaries are looking for something much greater than being a notary or a notary signing agent. What would you say? Because you also teach notaries, you're also an instructor. What have you discovered is the desire of notaries?
I like to say that, you know, people are still people. You're still going to do whatever you do. You're still going to go to places that you go, hang out with people that you hang out with, and you just happen to have a notary commission. You just happen to have this stamp, right? You're still going to go to work. Some people still work. Some people have kids. They go on vacations. Your life still happens. But on occasion, when you're at the movies, or you're in the bathroom, or you're asleep, or you're driving to a vacation with your family, somebody might actually need you and say, hey, I've got 6 documents from Wells Fargo and I need to get them signed. Can you help me out? So now you've created this capacity to go out and either own a business, right? You own a set of steps to help this person who needs these 6 PPA agreements for their Wells Fargo client. Don't matter what their charge is. They have got $100 million client and the last notary didn't show up. So you have a reliable way to help somebody. But you're a regular person. You do your normal everyday thing. Now you have a way to systematize it. Now you have a way to give somebody an avenue to get something done, and you can get compensated for it. To me, a notary public, a person who understands that responsibility and they take it seriously, there's an opportunity for them.
Mm-hmm.
After all, isn't that what you got into this business for? Or, why did you get into this business?
You remember why you got into this business?
Yeah.
Why'd you get into the notary business?
It has changed over the course of years. Actually, when you reflect back on it, like why did I get into the business? It turned out, it helped out really well. But ultimately, when I got fired, I'll never forget this. March 2019, the first person I called was my grandmother. Right, the first person I didn't, I don't remember what exactly I told her, but I told her, I'm not going to be working there anymore, whatever it was. And she was very supportive. She didn't say anything that was overly profound, or but she's always had my back and stuff like that. So I called her. The second person I called was Andre Hatchett. So shout out to Andre Hatchett. If you guys don't know who he is the godfather of this notary business, of teaching people the business of notary. So I got into and put it this way, I was fired on Thursday, took Friday off. By Saturday, I was driving Lyft. I got into this business because me understand working up to that, I understood that business ownership was so important. And this was a low entry way to, I didn't have to put up $500,000 capital to go and start this. Right. I didn't have to put up collateral and hire people and pay overhead. I didn't have to do all that. This was something where I was already going to be driving around. You know what I'm saying? I was already going to be on the road. And if somebody just happens to say, I need a gun permit signed, well, give me 30 minutes, I'll be right there. Or give me an hour, I'll be right there. That was my thinking. So I got into the industry to have a business. And the more and more I realized is that this is what I found out why a notary public is a notary public. What is a notary public and what problem you're really solving? The more and more I did that, the more I realized I can't afford not to help somebody, because in the moment when they need me, the moment when they actually need a notary, they've probably exhausted a few options before that, just at the time. And now I got better with the SEO, get better with the management and the advertising. But I knew that that person had failed. For some reason, they got to me somehow. I don't know. They went to the bank rejected them. They called another person, didn't answer. They got to another person, they interrogated them. And now here they are in my lap. They're like right here. They're on my doorstep and they're handing me an envelope full of cash. If I can go and meet them at the coffee shop or if I can meet them at the house. So I got into the industry to start a business, and I knew that me driving Lyft or doing whatever it was at the time, the compensation for what I was getting wasn't even close to what the notary industry did. It wasn't even close. When you broke it down by numbers, I started to track, my outcome, my results. Thanks to your book, I started to track things, started to track mileage, track income, track the time, track the calls, track the pay. I was like, there's nothing close to notary. Not at that time.
Yeah, that's it's an evolution from your 2 years since we did the show last time. What would you say have changed with you from 2 years ago? Because you're still a notary, correct?
Yes.
From when you started you started years ago, but where you are today versus where you were 2 years ago when we first did the interview, what has changed?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can keep count, man. So much because it's every day, it's all the time. I would say some of the bigger things is the book for sure. I don't know if I had the book out at the time, but maybe I did. I can't remember. But definitely the book. Definitely becoming more focused on doing for more people, doing for others, helping out other notaries who may struggle unknowingly, who may struggle unnecessarily. That would be like the biggest change because I can see the problems coming from a mile away. I can see it. You mean to tell me that you get 7 people who call you every single day, but you only get 1? So I try to tell people, I try to give them the confidence that anything less than 100% is unacceptable. That would be the biggest change. Anything less than 100% is unacceptable. You should get every single person who calls you, every single one of them, all of them. There's no reason why you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, why? What happened? How? Why not? Let's break that down. What were they confused about? What were they unsure about? And you can fix it right there on the spot.
If I was a new notary coming into the, let's say I was a notary. No, I'm not a notary. I'm considering becoming a new notary. What is the best course of action you would recommend if I had a chance to meet you at a coffee shop or something? And I say, oh, you're a notary? I've been thinking about becoming a notary. What would you suggest to me?
I would say pick another. No joke. I would say go get. Don't do it.
Run.
Yeah, people will call me and they will say, "Hey, I'm a new signing agent, and I was looking to sign up with your company." I say, "Really? You calling me to give you a job?" I say, "You called the right spot because I'm looking for you. If you are a new notary and you're trying to get into this industry, I would say do it. But I would say attach yourself to one person and follow them. Not 3, not 4, one person and follow them. If you got to do one person online, like one person virtual, then go ahead, do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have to do it in person, I would do it in person preferably. If you do both, that's probably even better. That would be the ultimate thing I would say. Attach yourself to one person and follow that person to the top. Keep going with them. Now, I'm biased as to who that person might be.
Sure.
Here's what I mean by that. Listen, I work with notaries all over the country. You don't have to work for me. That's perfectly fine. I know I'm not for everybody, but I will say this. Because I work with a lot of people in real life, in person. A lot of people, right? I have 22 notaries who I work with in person. These people are not online, or a lot of them are, but they're not. These are individual people who have their own lives, and I work with these people. Right? Some of them have been around for a while. Some are pretty brand new. But I'll tell the person, hey, listen, how do you want to operate this? Do you want to follow a model that was in place, like this old school notary public business model, or do you want to follow more of an updated modern business model? Here's the difference in the two models. On one hand, you have a storefront, you have a phone number, you have a reputation in the community. You've seen generations of families grow up. And then on the other hand, right, and again, there's no better or worse, there's no superior or inferior to this. But on the other hand, you're dealing with a clientele who is an account executive at Wells Fargo, or they have 100 clients because this is the headquarters of some oil company or some furniture company, or you have family members who are in the hospital. They just go into their computer and then they just type in notary near me because that's what people do. And that person bumps into your storefront, your virtual storefront. On one hand, you got the brick and mortar place. On the other hand, you're everywhere. That person then contacts you, or they somehow engage with your your storefront, your advertisement, your banner, and then they initiate this contact, this call, this email, and then you service them from that point on. Where do you need me? How many people are going to be there? Is everybody legal? Is everybody legit? Yeah. Okay. You got cash, don't you? Or you got some form of payment? Great. Let's get this taken care of. I would follow somebody. Which one do you want to follow? Latch on to somebody, virtual or in person. And which one do you want to follow? How do you see your life kind of playing out in the next 2-5 years? Because this notary commission is very powerful. It really is. You and I, everybody around the country, we all have the same commission. My commission is no different than yours. It's no different. I mean, you can make an argument because of state by state by state, the law is a little bit different. I got that part. But what I'm saying is we all own a commission. Don't we? We all own the same thing. Now, how we apply it is going to be a little bit different. It's just going to be a little bit of a, dynamic twist to it, and a more of an expanded perspective, I think. So I would follow somebody, and other than that, what you can do across the board, I always say this: reliable phone, reliable vehicle, and you should be good to go. That's it. You have a reliable phone, reliable vehicle, that should give you the confidence to go out there and talk to people. Hey, what time do you need me? Everybody got their ID? Good. Here's how we can help you. Let me get into my car and drive across town. If you don't have the confidence to get into your car right this very moment at the drop of a dime, stop everything you're doing and then go get this money, because that's what you got. That's why you came here, right? All right. You can't. That's why I'm just saying. That's why you came here. You didn't come here to do this for free. I hope not. If you did, then that's on you. But I'm just saying, at the drop of a dime, stop what you're doing and you just go pick up $117 for one signature, if that's what you want to do. And you have the capacity to do that. You have the same commission. We have the same, it's just the different philosophy that's applied to it.
Mm-hmm. So you're an author. You're an instructor. You teach automation. And this is the part I want to talk to you about: automation.
Let's talk about it, man. Automation is a big topic right now. I wonder why.
Yeah, right.
It just came out of nowhere. Oh my God.
Why do you feel that notaries need automation in their lives, in their business model, right? I know why. You of course know why, because you're like king automation when it comes to notaries automating their business, which is, okay. So let me ask you this. I'll break the question up. If I'm a new notary, do I need automation right now? Brand new, spanking new, fresh out the box, still got the Similac on the breath and all that. Do I need automation right now, Tekk?
Today, yes.
Okay, why? Why would I need automation in my notary business if I just got started?
Because you'll get clients, people will call you, you put your name on some directories, some Facebook groups, some listings, somebody will call you eventually, right? Here, I'm gonna try to predict your future, new notary. I'm gonna try to kind of give you a little bit of a glimpse of what's probably going to happen, right? What's probably going to happen is that 2, 3, 4, 5 more people are going to call you. Hopefully, right? You want more and more people to call you. At some point, you're going to say, man, I can't answer all these calls. I wish there was a way to do it. At some point, you're going to say, dang, I can't respond to all these emails. I wish either that's going to happen or the worker's going to suffer. So you can start now. Now, when people do call you, absolutely, you can service them. You don't necessarily need any of these tools that are available. But inevitably, down the road, I'm going to predict your future, young notary. All right, I'm going to predict to you what's going to happen. And this is what I see is going to happen down the road. Now, you might get there in 6 weeks. You may get there in a year. Hell, you can get there in 5 weeks or less. You really could. Really could. This is not something that should take a long, long, long time. This is something that you can set up, really, and you can get your phone ringing immediately. And at some point, either you're going to do all the work or somebody else is going to do it. Now, for a one-person show, a one-man show, one-woman show, like a notary, most people do work for themselves. So the only way to expand, or the only way to increase your capacity, is to apply some of these automation tools. If you do it now, then you'll be better off later on. You don't have to do it, but you can do it later on if you want. At some point, you're going to do it, because I don't think, I'll tell you a quick story. I work with this, he's a legal document preparer. He's a paralegal. On the surface, cool guy, very friendly, very courteous. And I, commissioned him to do some work for a very important client of mine. And he's on the phone. I'm a good evaluator of talent, right? And I can see quickly if this is going to work. And most people, no problem. He, no exception. On the surface, everything good. I actually did prior work with this guy, so he does have a good track record. And then here's what happens. Eventually, the job becomes too big or unexpected, and you don't have any room to grow in there. You don't have no room to miss a call here and there, miss a deadline, because the work that I commissioned him for became too much. He tried to go and outsource the work out, because a business has that room to grow. One order shouldn't put you out of commission. One person's request shouldn't shut down your entire operation. Well, it does that because you're overwhelmed. It does that because you're taking on every single aspect of the business operation, or every single aspect of, you're giving yourself more work to do. You're working overtime. You're giving yourself another job to do in the business. That's what happened with this paralegal. And that's dangerous, because now you put the deal at jeopardy, put the client, what if they're ordering a power of attorney or a last will for somebody who's on there, who's feeling ill, which was the case in my situation. So this person is waiting for documents to be done, and now they can't get their documents done because you're overwhelmed. You didn't have that room to grow. That's why the automation works well, and the sooner you implement it, the faster you'll see the results. I think at some point you're going to get it anyway. So if you do it in the next 5 weeks, even better. But if it takes you a year, then it takes you a year. I wouldn't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Not with what I know now. I wouldn't wait. I would try to do it as soon as possible. But do you need it? Nah, you'd be okay.
So as it progresses, the more and more you'll need more and more automation as your company grows. Unless you like hiring, a bunch of people, like virtual assistants and stuff like that. Me personally, I like robots. They don't take sick days. I don't I don't get the call about today's I'm on my menstrual cycle. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna be able to work all day. So I personally like robots. Certain things I know I won't be able to replace with robots. I have to have some type of human connection in there. So I have that in place. But if there is a way for me to replace a human being with a robot, I'm going to do it, because I like having a very lean company. I like the company to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without a hiccup. And automation allows me to do that. So now you have, I like to call this segment, Tekk. This is going to be a new segment in the show. It's called the cash flow segment.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna call this the cash flow segment right here, brother.
Oh my God, I love it.
So the thing is, talk about how the notaries can cash flow their business. Stage is yours.
All right. Here's how you do it, guys. I hope you guys are ready for it because this is why you came for it. Number one, get excited. I'm not just telling you to get excited. I'm telling you, get excited. Every time somebody calls you, be excited to help this person. They should hear it in your voice. They should hear it from the moment they pick up the phone. They should hear excitement. This person, because oftentimes when people are calling a notary, again, they don't even know, people don't even really know, truly know what a notary really is. Write that down. Be excited because people don't know what a notary really is. They really don't know. So you have to let them know that you're here to help them. Whatever they have, I could be trying to open up a bank in India, but I may just need a power of attorney signed. What I really, really know, what I really, really am trying to do is none of your business. It really ain't. So stop with the questions. Stop with get excited to help this person get what they called you, get done what they called you to do, which is get a signature sign. In this case, a limited power of attorney. Why do you care that I'm trying to buy property in the Philippines? Why are you asking all these questions? So get on the phone, get excited, start with a personal greeting. I say I've tested a few different professional greetings, and this is what I'm saying. This is how to cash flow your business. This is how to keep it coming. All right. On automation. Right. I say it's a great day at ABC Notary. This is Steven speaking. What document can we help you with? Boom. Already. I've exceeded. First of all, they probably didn't even expect that because they didn't know what a notary is to begin with. So let me explain to you what you're. Let me show you who you just called. Let me break this down for you. Today is a great day at ABC Notary. This is your expert speaking. What can we help you with? And no matter what you say, no matter what you say out of your mouth, no matter what comes out, I can help you. It doesn't matter. Unless you're calling for donuts. In that case, you're on your own, buddy. Cash flow your business. Set the stage. Let this person know who they're calling. So that way, when they have a question about how much does it cost, it ain't really the number. It's just, okay, what can I expect for you to hit me for? What can I expect to see on my bank statement? It's not the price. It is not the price. It's not the price. Okay. I can confirm that it's not the price. I can tell. Oh, but Tekk, I live in Virginia where we can only charge $2, or Tekk, I live in Florida where we can only charge $1, or I live in Texas. All right. Keep telling yourself.
What do you say about that? The people that say, I can't charge this because the state says I can only charge 11 cents and they all have to be paid in pennies.
I would ask you a question. I would say, well, it sounds like you might not be in business very long. So do you want to sell me your phone number so I can take over? No, I'm joking. What I would say to that person is, well, where'd you get that information? Number one. Well, and then they point out some statute, some law, some article in some constitution that says, they become a student of the law all of a sudden. Everybody's an expert on the law. What about your business? What about your business? How are you going to be able to operate with 11 cents per hour? If that's what you truly believe, I would say get out of the business immediately. If you don't think you can charge more than $2 for 20 hours of work, then I would say you should probably get out of this business. I would. If that's what you truly believe. Now, if that's not what you truly believe, and you're really just kind of scared or a little bit afraid or apprehensive or unsure, if you have all these other question marks around your head about, I'm not sure what to say, I'm not sure if I want to go to jail, or, people put all these fear in your mind. How about you grow some? How about you grow a pair? Try it and see what happens. try telling somebody that it's going to cost $309 for one signature and see what happens. They may say, oh, man, that's it? Come on up. Listen, people are, I understand that it's a sensitive subject and it's a sensitive topic, so I kind of joke around with that. But really, reality is, if there's no convincing I can tell you to do, I'm just saying, if you think you cannot charge more than $2 for 20 hours of work, then I would say you should leave the business. But if you don't think that's the case, and you really just need a strategy, you really just need a technique, then I would say you're in the right place. I would say in that case, here's what you do. Your confidence comes across through the phone. And if you don't believe that this is worth $20, then neither will your client. And it's always going to sound questionable. Because, well, Starbucks doesn't charge $2. Now, if Starbucks said, oh, this is $41, then you know that that's ridiculous, right? You're going to probably ask, all right, last time it was $20. So they say it was $40. And then what would you do? Would you keep arguing with them, or would you just leave? You would probably leave, right? You don't have time for this.
Right.
What I'm saying is that your customer is going to call you and say, hey, what time can you get here? And then you say, well, maybe 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, but it costs $50 to get to travel. Then it costs $20 for every signature. And then it costs $3 if you need me to print. And then they say, well, I didn't even ask you all that. Then you just talk yourself out of a deal. So expressing to people what it is that they're paying for. Express to people what it is that you do, and make it simple for them to do it.
Now you have an ill response to people that say that your price is too high initially, and then there's a response that you fall back on. What is that response? And it's very effective, by the way, because I've tried it and it's very effective.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, scripts get results, don't they?
Indeed, 100%.
I mean, you're talking to the $1 million call script, $250,000 call script was the original thing. That was the OG name, right? But appropriately, it should be more because they get results. And the script is you don't have to follow it to the T. But I tell people, listen, first of all, if you ask me right off the bat, how much does it cost? I already know you can't afford it. I'm listening. I can hear it in your voice, because that tells me you don't know what a notary is immediately. That tells me, if somebody calls me and they say, how much does it cost? You already can't afford me. But that doesn't mean I can't help you, though. That doesn't mean I won't work with you. I just know that you can't afford me already, because that's not the question you should be asking. I'm talking from a customer's perspective. All right. So kind of understanding, all right, who is this person reaching out? Who is this person that's calling me right now? How much does it cost? Well, it's $1 million. What? I'm like, yeah, it's $1 million.
Now, why do you say that?
Because it might be.
$1 million notarization.
It might be. You ain't show me nothing.
You gotta pay that one in cash, baby. I am not letting PayPal take that back.
Could you imagine the fee that they hit you with?
I wouldn't let PayPal touch that, bro. I was like, I'm gonna bring my duffel bag. You stuff it up. I'm gonna even take an Uber there. You don't need to know where my license plate is, man. You don't need to register my license plate. You agree to $1 million notarization? We gonna get that shit done.
Yeah. Don't hang up. I'm gonna run this right now. Don't even hang up. You ain't getting away. I tell people.
Do you really though? Like, I mean, do you think saying it's $1 million, like it might be $1 million notarization?
Let's be real. I don't know what you have in your hand.
True. That's true. That is true.
I don't know what you have in that clipboard of yours. I really don't. You might have 1 million signatures, for all I know. Yeah. So if that's the case, then it's $1 million. So until you've expressed to me what it is that you have, until you explain, sir, ma'am, we'll get some information from you. We'll give you a quote. But at this point, I have no idea. I haven't examined what you have in your hand. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know whose kids you're trying to steal. I don't know whose house deed you're trying to transform. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to do. Right. And I say that jokingly, right? But immigration documents. I don't know. Are you trying to sell a home? Are you trying to open up a bank account in India? I don't know. Let's figure out what you have, and then I'll be able to let you know. But until proven otherwise, it's $1 million. So let me say, what did I say when people say it's too much money? I say, listen, you can do it at 2 o'clock or we do it at 3 o'clock. You say $20. Pick one. I say it's going to be 15 minutes. We'll be in and out. What time do you want us to come? There's a bunch of different ways to say it, but what I've been trying recently, and this has been giving me success, is I'll give you the price. Let's say it's $100, and they say, "Oh, that's too much money. I didn't expect it to be." All right. What time do you need it? Do you need it like right now, right now, or do you need it like whenever you get around to it? Oh, it's not that important. It's not all of a sudden it's not important. Here's the reality: everything's important. Everything is high urgency. It's just that I haven't expressed this person what I need or what it is that I do. So I'll tell the person, you can do it for $100 right now. Otherwise, after the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or after 6 o'clock, whatever you want to do, you can save $20. You can save $40. You can save $100. You can save some cash and you can still get this done. So what time do you want to do this? Oh, really? Then how much would it be? Oh, it'd be $80. Okay, that sounds better. Right. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, how much is an hour of your time worth?
Yeah.
How long does it take you to drive out to somebody's house and drive back to your house, or to drive out to somebody's house, stop at the grocery store on the way back home, and then come back home?
Now, okay, right? Okay. Well, let's stop there for a second, right? Because this is a really good segue to it. If I'm coming from a job that paid me $20 an hour, right? Now you're telling me to calculate the notarization off of what do I feel my time is worth? Well, on this side of the spectrum, I've been getting paid $20 an hour for the last fucking 5-7 years, right? With my job. So if I go into the notary business, I'm thinking my time is worth $20, $25 an hour, right?
Right.
Because I have no reference point to that. But you are able to charge, $200, $300 for notarizations. How did you come up with that number of what your time is worth for you to go out to a customer's house, notarize with the drive and everything in an hour? How did you come up to the conclusion that $200, $300, $400 per hour, depending on the type of document and where it's located, is what my time is worth?
Have you ever heard of a freedom number? And I'm asking the audience as well. By the way, where's everybody from? We got East Coast people in here? Because I think y'all really need to hear this.
Yeah, let me give a couple of shout outs real quick. Shout out to Gina. What up, Gina? What's up, Dawn? What's up, Fingerprinting Gurus? He has some great comments on here. What's up, Melissa B? We got Florida in the house. Yeah, we got North Carolina, Florida, New York, Cali. Yeah, they're all in the house, man. Yeah, you said freedom number?
Yeah, a freedom number. So I think
what's a freedom number?
A freedom number this is the number. How much do you need on a minimum basis? Minimum, at an absolute minimum. So the way that you would, so we got Birmingham in the house. So y'all definitely really need to hear this. Or hopefully this gives you some context as to how you can charge per. People say, oh, you do a rate calculator. I've seen all these notary travel calculators. Listen, I've seen all that stuff. What is an hour of your time worth? I'm gonna give you a simple formula right here. your hours. So this freedom number comes up. So what are the bills or the utilities that always have to get paid on a monthly basis? All right. So you got mortgage, you got rent, you got car, you got insurance, you got cell phone, you got cable, internet, you got daycare, you got whatever the constant, the things that don't change from week to week, month to month. Like throw all that stuff out. Stuff you go clothes shopping. If you have a budget for food, throw that in there. But stuff that fluctuates from month to month, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the stuff that you absolutely must get paid on a month to month basis. Take that number. All right. That number, this is what we're going to be based off. So this number's like $5,000. Now you're going to take the hours that you have available. All right. I'm not talking. So let's say if you have a 9 to 5, let's say you work full time, you work 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So when do you want to do notary? I want to do it before work, or maybe I'll do it after work, maybe on the weekends. So you take outside of your normal obligations, not outside of the book club that you go to every Saturday, outside of the social group that you work with on a month basis. This is what I'm saying. Continue to live your life. Do the stuff that you were already going to do. But in that free time, in that time that you have available to do notary, all right, let's say it's between 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock after your full-time job. All right, so that's 4 hours. That's times 5 days. You don't do work on the weekends. That's 20 hours. All right. So those hours of availability, that's what you're calculating by. That's what you're going off of. So if I want somebody to come out to my house, or if I'm going to go out to somebody's house to execute a loan doc or to sign a power of attorney, I'm basing my price based upon my hours of availability. That's the best way to do it. Once you start becoming entrenched with automation, now this is when you can run a full-time job and you can still have the business operate while you're still at work, right? Because you have these sort of guardrails built into where people can't book you before an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. You have this cushion. But I would say take the hours of availability that you have. Most people work 9 to 5 or they work 12 to 6, whatever it is. And your notary hours are from 8 to 8, right? So that means you have 1 hour in the morning before your 9 o'clock starts, and you have 3 hours in the afternoon from 5 to 8. So that's 3 hours. 1 in the morning, that's 1, and 3 in the afternoon or evening. So that's 4 total hours. You do that 5 days a week. That's 20 hours. So you take that number, you divide that by your freedom number, and that should tell you what you should be charging per hour. And then I would divide that by 2 because that's half an hour. Because a notary appointment only takes half an hour. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, the freedom number.
Yeah,
I like that. Pricing. It's one of my favorite subjects to speak on. I probably get the most DMs about pricing. About how do I price my services? How do I make more money and run less appointments? Because I mean, me personally, running a lot of appointments ain't the name of the game. To me, it's not. It's getting very high quality clients, making the most money I can per client, and delivering 5-star service, of course, but making the most money per client so I don't have to run a million notary assignments. You being an agency owner, what have your experience been with that? And how does that play into having pricing yourself correctly?
Man, goodness, me printing out 1,000 pages of paper per day does not sound like a lot of fun to me. I didn't get in this to do that, to run 30 appointments per day, run your car into the ground. Think about this. Are you running a job? Are you running overtime? Are you working more? And then not even getting paid what you thought you were supposed to be getting paid. So here's where pricing comes in. All right. Am I working more? Am I working overtime? Am I driving to 11 appointments? And then how am I, and what's the return on all this time? So when you start tracking these things, tracking how many times you went out the door, how many miles did you drive, how many destinations did you hit, and then you talk about the return. Well, it costs money every time you go out to these places. Every time you go and buy donuts and to take those to the title company. And then what's the return on that? Now, talk about pricing. Would this be a better way to do it? Would this make more sense? I go to Thumbtack and then I pay $5 for the possibility of someone giving me some business. The possibility. It's not a guarantee, but the possibility. So I pay $5. I put that up front. This person, like we said, they don't know what a notary is. They really don't, but they just were told to go and find one. But now they come across you and then they say, well, I need one signature. Now listen, I've already paid for this, $5. They are expecting $15, so I'm already out the whole $10. They're not expecting to pay more than $15. So if I charge them $15, I've already lost $10. You guys follow that? So how long are you going to be in business by losing $10 every time somebody calls you? You're not going to be in business for very long. Here's where pricing and positioning comes in. Because I'm able to give this person exactly what they look for, this is where automation comes in. And I'm able to do it quickly, urgency. I'm able to demonstrate to them that we can help you right now, when you want it. Or we can do it later on this weekend because your mother's not available. We can work with you. I have to express that to them. Because I'm able to do that and I'm able to do it quickly because that's what they were expecting. Now I can charge you $120. Therefore, I paid $5 for you to get in front of you. Or I can charge you $85, right? But nevertheless, I paid for you to get in front of me. I've given you exactly what you're looking for. And then I built in enough cushion for me to actually operate my business. For me to pay for those, that freedom number I was talking about, for me to pay for the things that absolutely must get paid for me to pay for the advertising, for me to pay for the phone, pay for the internet, for me to pay for the gas in the car, all those things, because I'm able to price myself by giving the person exactly what they look for.
Tekk, what do you have to offer to the family, man? And then I'll after you have plug in what you offer, and then I have a final question about something too.
Good. For the business owners, for the notary business owners, for the people who are looking to advance their notary operation, tomorrow is Thursday, December 28th. And today, if you go to drtekk.com, this is what I have to offer for you. Tomorrow, the Brain Box is a notary mastermind. It's a business owner mastermind that we do every week. Okay, whether you're there or not, we do this. I'm inviting you. We've been doing this for the last 30 days, by the way. If you haven't heard about it, I'm sorry. But today, actually, I'm not sorry. Where were you? That's what I have to say. Where were you at? If you go to drtekk.com, click on the Brain Box Challenge. Tomorrow is Thursday at 8:30 a.m. West Coast time. I want to do a topic on paid advertisement. I'm going to introduce you to how to buy a client. The reason why I teach you how to buy a client is because no one ever taught you. Did they? No one ever taught you how to buy a client. So go to the drtekk.com, click on the Brain Box 30-day challenge. The last 4 weeks, we've had topics like, what are the tools that you absolutely need to start the notary business? What the absolute minimum tools that you need to actually have a successful notary business? Talked about how to take a phone call and how to set an appointment, how to keep the momentum going. And last week, I talked about the automation business model. Everything from the phone call, from the voice automation, the scheduling automation, to the landing page automation, to crafting out the entire journey. And then so tomorrow we'll talk about how to actually get clients. You see, Tiger, most people, they'll come and they'll say, hey, how do I get more clients? That's the question. How do I get more clients? But really, that's not the question they should be asking. That's really like the third question they should be asking. Most people want to get more clients, but that's not that's the third question they should be asking. The first question they should be asking is, what are the tools that I need? I can't just show up to the job site without any equipment at all. What are the tools that I need? What do I need to be equipped with? Then the second question is, how do I use these tools now? Now that I'm armed with all of this, with these tools, how do I use them? And now the third question is, now how do I get more clients? Because the reality is, we can get your phone ringing 300, 400 times a month, but if you get 400 no's, 400 rejections, and you all of a sudden start questioning yourself whether or not maybe my price is too high. Oh, people won't pay that. Maybe it's because I live in Virginia, or because I live in North Carolina, or because I live in Texas. People won't pay that. Well, how do you know that? Because I wouldn't pay that. Well, here's the thing. What are the tools you need? How do you use those tools? And now you start getting more clients. That way you can build, you can grow into your company. So go to drtekk.com. Brain boxes tomorrow. I would sign up. What have you got to lose? What? Yeah. Making more money? What?
I agree. And I love the Brain Box. It's really like a mastermind. It's a nice tight group of like-minded notaries that are looking to achieve an incredible amount of success, not some low-level shit. You know what I mean? And that's why I like the people that are in the Brain Box, because I get to network with them as well, answer some of their questions, help them out the best way I can. It's awesome, you guys, and it's free. I think tomorrow's the last day for that 30-day challenge, but sit in on it because he's going to go over how to get leads. Like I've broken this industry down in 2 simple categories, bro. Lead generation and then lead conversion. That's it. I've learned how to notarize documents on the fly. On the way to the customer's house, I've learned how to notarize the documents by watching a YouTube video. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like this is what it is. I remember a lady called me and said, hey, I need to do an I-9 form. I need a notary. I've never done an I-9 form before. And on the way to her, of course, I didn't deny the assignment, right? She paid like $150 for I-9, which an I-9 is like 1 page. On the way to the client's home, I watched a video on how to notarize the I-9. By the time I got to her home, I was already like Neo in the Matrix. I was just like, okay, let's go. And realized I didn't even have to notarize anything.
Right.
All I had to do was sign off on it. So a lot of this stuff you can learn on the fly, but the major 2 components that I've narrowed it down to is lead generation, which is what you're going to go over tomorrow on the Brain Box, which you also go over that on Thumbtack for Notaries book. Yeah. And then once you get the lead, what do you do next? Once you get the phone call, right? You got the phone call now. You got an inquiry. How are you going to navigate that? And do you have the skills to navigate it and actually get a much higher price than what the average notary would get? Do you want to be average? That's what I would ask, right? But once notaries start getting all of this information from you and Tekk, and they're making really good money. I know you're in the financial services right now. What should they be doing with this money? Should they be blowing it on cruises? Should they go buy that G-Wagon? Should they reinvest it in their business? What's your suggestion? How have you been approaching this level of, because cats been squandering their money.
Yeah.
I've talked to enough students. I've taught enough people to realize that they've been blowing the bread, but their business has not been scaling. the business is still at a, you know, a plateau level. They're making cash flow, they're making good money, but they haven't implemented anything that will help them make even more money in the process. So do you have any suggestions on what people should start looking into once they start making really good money in the notary business?
Yeah, so the company that I'm involved in with, we help individuals, and we help them create for themselves what's called the 5 pillars of financial stability. And what we've realized is that if you're able to, you know, be good in these 5 areas, then you and your family, you guys should do pretty well. You, either by yourself or your family, should be, you know, be good financially. Now, the one thing that affects everybody is debt. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a great example because people just like to spend money, and that's, you know, what they've kind of done their lives. But as we all know, that this country is really in a big financial crisis. It's a debt-based economy, and once you kind of understand that, then you realize how there's nothing you have to be afraid of, but you definitely have to be under control. Now, if we agree that most people are in debt, and that debt is a little bit out of control, let's say that, so how do we define that? How do we help to get that under wraps and win that war, so to speak? So what we find is that most people want to just make more money. They just want to work overtime. I just want to get more and more signings. I just want to, you know, give me as much possible so I can get out from under this debt, right? That's what they're complaining about. Let me go get another job. Let me go work more and more. And the reality is that if they make more money, but your habits don't change, then you just find yourself in that same scenario, won't you? You just keep finding yourself in that same area. So it's a little bit of a habit thing now. It's our habits have to change. And one of the habits that I am privy to being well known about is paying yourself. Paying yourself first. That's really the separation between people who collect, make direct deposit or something, and then they just pay their bills, and then they neglect their family, neglect their future, and they neglect themselves. And once you have this business owner mindset, now all of a sudden you look at your operation like a business, and then you pay you first, you pay yourself first, and and then you start paying other people, and pay all those other obligations, right? Talking about that freedom number, and kind of changing your perspective. So that's the difference. I think the habits is really a really big thing. And once you start learning good financial habits, then you put yourself in a better financial position. You start learning bad financial habits, you be in a poorhouse real quick.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So any last words, brother?
Yeah, I'd like to say that, overall, go all out, man. The notary industry, if you have a notary commission, consider yourself to be in a privileged position. I would say go all out. When you get a phone call, when you get an inquiry by email, phone call, here's what I would do. I would craft out a journey specifically for that person. So that means if you're a banker, if you're a mother, if you're a business, I would craft a journey out specifically for that person. And then this is going to help you get more confidence to secure more clients. Now, the way you go about that is, it's up to you, but here's the best way. Get a dedicated phone number, a dedicated phone that's only for business. So that way, when you hear it ring, it's time. It's time to go. It's showtime, man. So get a dedicated cell phone number. I'm not talking about Google Voice. All right, I'm saying things that you can do right now. Don't toss out the Google Voice. Get a dedicated phone number so that way when it rings, you know that this person is looking for a notary. And at that time, this is how I would approach it. I would get very few details. I would get where are you? I would get who's all going to be there, and does everybody have valid ID? Once you got those things down, then I would proceed to help that person. I would stop it right there. I would not interrogate them any further. I would not question why the sheriff is looking for them or what time, or can they meet you in the parking lot, or what the specific location. I would not do any of those things. I would say, who's going to be there? Does they all have like who's all going to be there? And does everybody have ID? And what time you want to do it? So once you got those details down, at that stage, I would say, listen, here's how we can help you. Because this is a business and we need to make this legit, we need to make this on the records. Once you process your payment, you'll get a confirmation and we'll be able to give you exactly what it is that you're looking for. Your power of attorney, your LLC agreements, your adoption paperwork, your loan closing, whatever it is. That's how you're going to run the business. That goes for signing agencies, that goes for Snapchat, that goes for all these other companies that if somebody calls you and you are a business owner, if that's what you say you are, then this is how I would approach it. Some people are not doing that. They're neglecting that. Like, again, they're paying everybody first, not paying themselves first. Switch that. You can switch that. And if you need help, come to the 30-day Brain Box Challenge. I can help you to learn to love this. It doesn't have to be as difficult as it sounds. And you can really, really do yourself a favor by being in the right environment. So other than that, man, thank you for having me on the Notary War Room. I love it as always. I wish we had time for questions, but I guess we got to roll. So otherwise,
no. We do have time for questions.
Okay.
Let's see. You guys can put your questions in the comment section, whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube or the other channels that we're streaming on. Go ahead and type in your questions and for Tekk, and then we can definitely touch on that. It's interesting, man. So you say there's no difference. Well, that's what you said initially. There ain't no difference. It depends on how you look at it. The notary signing agent versus the notary business owner.
Man, I don't think so. I know so. I know they put it this way. There's a technical side of it, and then there's everything that, listen, when you took the notary exam, and by the way, some people don't even have to take exams.
Yeah, I didn't take it.
I think that's really cool. I think that's what you just put your name on. How easy is that? You just sign up and then you just get the commission.
Yep.
But to put it this way, when you signed up, did they tell you how to get a client?
Hell no.
They forgot that part. They left it out, didn't they?
In the whole handbook, it doesn't tell you how to get any clients. None.
They didn't tell you that. I teach people how to buy clients because no one ever taught you, have they? When you took the notary exam in Maryland or in Texas or in California, here, you got to take a 6-hour exam. You got to sit in the class for 6 hours. And then you take, I think, like 45 questions. I can't remember. But nowhere in that class did they teach you how to get clients, did they? They taught you that if you sign your name on some people's houses and you stealing somebody's mortgage deeds and you do it knowingly, then you don't go to jail. You don't get fined $25,000, and you might, get a felony. You might get your commission taken away. That's what they teach you. They teach you how not to get sued. And then they say, good luck.
Kick you in your ass. Like, go ahead.
Thanks, but bye. Good luck. Yeah. Don't get sued. That's all they teach you. They don't teach you how to get clients.
Hey, we got a question here, Tekk. Remote Notary Biz says, Tekk, where can I see the replays of those videos?
So my assumption that you're referring to the Brain Box videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's what I would do. I would go to drtekk.com, and then when you sign up for the Brain Box, what you'll do is get an email response, and in that response, it'll tell you where you can go and watch the rest of those videos. But those videos are not public, right? Those videos are not just out there on YouTube or Vimeo or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Well, I know it's probably taking the people a few minutes to actually type their questions in. So what I would suggest you guys type in your questions in the comment section, and then we'll do our best to answer all of them for you. But until then, we really appreciate you guys tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all of that stuff. And we wish you the very best. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for watching. I hope you got a lot from it. Don't forget to click the link below for my special discounted price.